2021 factory Ducati rider Pecco Bagnaia. He leads a factory Ducati 1-2 on the grid for the third of Vizioso. Jack Miller goes from second ahead of world championship leader Fabio Quartararo in third. Keep an eye up, pumped and ready to go from the middle of that front row. The third row features the world champion Joan Mir, Pol Espargaro. Further back, Johann Zarco heads row 4. He's the only rider that's gone for the medium front tyre. He's on the binder, also goes from row 4. Keep an eye on Alex Marquez on the podium here last year. He goes to the middle of row 4, debut here in Aragon.
13,500 fans here in northeastern Spain. Is it me, Matt?
Sense, isn't it, that this is a high pressure cooker atmosphere. I don't know why, but
in MotoGP in the modern era, any bike can win, any rider can win. Of course, he wasn't here last year. He's unbeaten in 4. Morbidelli and Rins the winners here in Aragon last.
Podium here today, and he overtakes the great Christian Sarron as the most successful French for him.
Jack Miller was getting fired up on the grid, and they'll all be chasing him. Marc Marquez, of course, starting from that second row, has been aggressive in the first
time since the Yugoslavian Grand Prix way back in 1972.
Regardless as to what happens today, Quartararo will take a big lead into Misano next week, but can these guys most likely to do damage? If they can, big old stoppy there from Pecco Bagnaia as well, getting some. Dardozzi knows how big today is for him and his team.
Yeah, Ducati Vizioso did it in Brno 3 years ago, back in 2018.
The green, and away we go. Good start from the two Ducatis. Look at Martin coming through. Marc Marquez is through from the second.
They've gotten a little bit hot. He gets a little nudge there from Marc Marquez as well. So Miller drops back to third. Now then Marc Marquez straight fire, who leads. Good start for Aleix Espargaro. He's already up into
Oh, Marquez is having a look through turn 4.
Somebody was out wide there coming through turns 5 and 6. So Bagnaia made the perfect start. Mir. Quartararo has the inside line though, down to reverse corkscrew though. No, he gets his wipe clear. Right. Yeah, he crashed out in Aragon 2 here last year as well, didn't he? So Pecco Bagnaia making the early headway, and down early on at turn 5.
Into turn 12 then. Jorge Martin did not get the best start. He got beaten up a bit. He's down to
3 places already as Fabio Quartararo on the front row in 3rd place. He's been nudged back down to 6. Mir's wanted Aleix Espargaro and Joan Mir in 4th and 5th place.
Jorge Martin up the inside of Pol Espargaro. Bastianini, oh, that was a bit wide.
Martin's gone through on Quartararo as well there through turn 17 from Pol Espargaro.
We've not seen this really at any point in 2021, have we, Fabio Quartararo? Got a long way to go to get anywhere near the top 4 or 5. It's Bagnaia who leads here. Jack Miller 3rd, Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia 4th.
Watching Brad Binder in 9th. Iker Lecuona has been strong as well from 13th. He picked up 3 places to get himself that medium front tyre at the moment, not working out for him, back in 13th spot. Alex Rins had a good first lap, to be fair.
He's gone up a couple of places, but at turn 9 he's gone down.
Yeah, he's actually having a good battle. Turn 14 then on lap number 2. But it's Pecco Bagnaia, the pole man, that has the advantage. Now with that Desmos Adichie as they head towards turn 16 for the second time.
5 riders.
Yeah, this is a very rare sight indeed, isn't it? Fabio Quartararo going completely the rocks into the first corner. That's going to be tight.
That is tight. That's very close. He almost tagged Fabio Quartararo's leg in. Brad Binder as well. He's expecting a top 10 of himself here today. So far, so good for him.
0.6 of a second. Miller's got it back down to about half a second. Mir at the moment's not been able, still locked in 4th and 5th.
This is an on-board. Down the start finish straight then, and look how close this is from the Repsol Honda man Marc Marquez. Miller in 3rd. There'll be some riders, Matt, this race might pan out. The latter stages are crucial.
Marquez closes right up on Bagnaia on the brakes down the hill. These 2 men had great pace on well-worn soft rear tyres. Bagnaia versus Marquez. That so far, these 2 are trying to break away from Miller, who's hanging on in there in 3rd.
On afternoon, around turn 17. These left-handers are what Marc Marquez loves, and over the
set the fastest lap of the race. Marquez held it briefly, but Miller has found some excellent speed. And his teammate and your race leader Bagnaia.
Quick check-up on a few riders further back. Pol Espargaro has dropped down to,
so possibly even later on tonight, a move to World Superbikes. New adventure beckoning for Iker Lecuona, and that's Stan Aprilia. Well, he's down in 19th at the moment. locked in a fight with Luca Marini and Valentino Rossi.
After Marc Marquez, he's in second, chasing Bagnaia. He's in a factory Ducati sandwich as Jack Miller
disappearing very, very fast indeed. Zarco's dropped down to 14th place now.
The Pramac Ducati rider. There's a couple of groups forming here. Of the top 6, that's something we've not said at any stage during this season.
Yeah, his lap time's lower than Bagnaia. Just now, of course, he's got to try and find his way back onto this lead battle without...
He's coming under attack from Iker Lecuona as well. Number 27, the Tech 3 KTM rider, who comes into this with 2 top in on a place inside the top 10. He's moved up 8 places from 20th on the grid.
Yeah, I suppose the jury's out. Much as he's having to abuse that soft rear tyre to get through. That was always going to be his problem. Starting 20th, he was going to have to work turns 10 and then turns 16 and 17. The left-hand side of that rear tyre can overheat and get a lot of wheel spin. It's the problem that Alex Rins encounters late on.
Bagnaia so far so good, but there's a train. Spargaro is still in 4th. Mir, of course, who's so strong at the end of races traditionally in 2020.
Head down and push and start making aggressive moves, because if you do that, you're just going to burn your rear tyre up and have nothing left.
Match at the moment, no one really showing their cards just yet.
Yeah, game of turn number 16, he's running a tight inside line. What is it about these last 2 corners that, of course, Fabio Quartararo free for Lecuona, 13th to 8th, it might be 7th pretty soon.
Yeah, and Anaya Nakagami, that's even wider by Petrucci, yes.
That's not your optimum line through turn 1.
There is Iker Lecuona, bright orange KTM number 27, trying to get his teeth stuck into.
He's just been picked off by Miguel Oliveira, and now he's down into 15th place and coming, or he was coming under pressure from Petrucci. A chronic problem with arm pump. I just wonder whether that's a contributing factor as well. But yeah, in these hot conditions, that was obviously the preferred pick, but he felt he could make it work. But whether it's the front tyre, the arm...
2 men that know each other pretty well. The former Monster Energy Yamaha teammates, Maverick Vinales and Valentino.
Out for 19th place, he'd have been laughed out the paddock.
You would, you really would. It's a funny old world, isn't it? With a bit of a gap, they are over Jack Miller in 3rd. He's 6/10 adrift of Marc Marquez at the moment. 0.1 is a very fast lap indeed from Marc Marquez.
Yeah, trying to stretch then the likes of Miller for quite some time. The man who's charging through, as Steve said, is Lecuona. Fantastic job in charge through the pack, and he's repeating that here today. Awesome.
Less than a 10th off. The best race lap.
Bagnaia is famed, isn't he, Steve, for being this ice-cool character, but he's never been in this situation before. +0, 93.
Not raced in close quarters with Marc Marquez.
Is a different level. This is high stakes, high pressure. This is MotoGP in a first win beckoning, and one of the best we've ever seen.
This is the move then. Look at that rear view camera. Here comes on the left Iker.
You know, when you look at the recent performances of Iker Lecuona, the top 6 after a great ride in that rain hit
time, as ever, as you'd expect through left-handers, that Marc Marquez makes on Pecco Bagnaia. Is he going to line up a move?
There's just absolutely nothing between their lap times. In fact, on the last lap, Miller and Aleix Espargaro behind them were...
Turn 3 and 4 up towards turn 5. Second gear, trying to find a way past the normally unbreakable Pecco Bagnaia. It's gone wrong. Quartararo's lost another place. Brad Binder's throwing him now. Did not expect to see to fruition, unfortunately. Not far behind Binder as well before he got Quartararo was Enea Bastianini. Got a second advantage on Nakagami. He's coming under pressure as well now from Alex Rins, whose recovery from 20. Correct,
and I just wonder whether that's a similar problem here today.
Yeah, well remembered. Yeah, that was, he dropped like a stone that day. Looks out front though, on board with Marc Marquez. That's Pecco Bagnaia. Now watch this. If we stay on board, watch how much time through there. And Bastianini now pounces on Quartararo as well. So Quartararo's 10.
This is a bit of a demoralising decline here for Fabio Quartararo.
Claw back some big points in the World Championship as well.
Well, Bastianini is obviously right on his case. Not have it all on here with 15 laps to go to keep himself inside this top 10.
65-point lead he had at the start, winning, but that's far from a foregone conclusion with 15 laps to go. This is how it looked. 1 and 2. Miller's still there in 3rd with Aleix Espargaro for company.
Quartararo was 13th in Jerez, but he hasn't got arm pump in this race, we don't think. I just wonder whether, having dropped back in that group, whether it is something to do with the front tyre pressure. Is Fabio Quartararo is not the normal Fabio Quartararo of 2021.
Bagnaia.
Yeah, no. As we mentioned, Aleix Espargaro and Joan Mir having quickly have just been kind of stuck there. The Ducati of Jack Miller, never an easy motorcycle to overtake, and Jack's a bit of a conundrum for Espargaro and Mir to work out.
Starting to make inroads.
And he's one rider, Bastianini likewise, who you pointed out this weekend before, on worn tyres. So Fabio Quartararo has got it all on here to keep himself inside that top 10.
Marquez, is he keeping his powder dry at this point? Now both have shown fantastic pace on used tyres.
Tino Rossi, and it's not going to be a fond farewell to this famous 5-kilometre circuit for the Luca Marini. Rossi down in 20th place and down in the 150s now, so he's about a second and a half off.
Quick check on the other Brit, Cal Crutchlow. He's in line for his 4th consecutive 17th place finish.
Now the Nika Lecuona want to keep the pressure on Jorge Martin at 1.6 seconds.
And Marquez is grateful for these 2 last corners because he's across the line we go. There's another 48.5 from Bagnaia. He's responded well. Mir is also in the entire field as he closes now on Aleix Espargaro.
This could be a big day for Pecco Bagnaia, not just in 2.
You just know, Matt, though, that in MotoGP it doesn't always go to script. I mean, they are breaking out a big gap to the guys further back, but there is going to be a moment.
Normally he's had it all his own way. It's so good, as we mentioned, on circuits that are predominantly left-handed. He sweeps left-hand side of those rear tyres now, where the grip will starting to deteriorate. The grip will start to fade. At 15 onwards, we're not at that point yet, but edging closer to it.
And they're falling into the hands quickly of Bastianini and Taka Nakagami. You were right about Alex Rins, his charger. He's not been able to make any movements further forward. Now keep an eye on Joan Mir's lap time here. Oh, what
was there a moment on the front end going into turn 16, but it's been a costly with no effort. Aleix Espargaro and Mir, so Miller back in 5th.
It's just running out of track. Jack Miller 3rd place. Whilst we're looking here at Pecco Bagnaia in the background there, you can see the blue blur. Joan Mir
too little too late in terms of his chance of winning this Aragon Grand Prix, because he's
Espargaro to set that one up. Simon, your thoughts on this race and how it's panning out so far?
Yeah, I have a feeling on the TV, you know, how it's playing out, but I've got a feeling, and it might be more to it, meaning Joan Mir said last night in his debrief that he thinks with right at the end, streak backwards, that haven't managed it well, you know.
Yes, thanks for that, Simon. It's a good point, and we have seen Matt keep my eye firmly fixed on that gap between Marc Marquez in 2nd and Joan Mir in 3rd.
In these hot conditions, it feels like it's the hottest condition we've had all weekend as well, that the soft rear tyre distance, there can be a big drop as well, and that big drop could be by well over a second and fall off a cliff and getting back into contention, because if it stays as is, you just can't see any way that Mir can.
I'm the championship leader. There's a little camera screen in the bottom left corner there. That's the back view closing in on him.
Do you know what? He's doing a remarkable job, isn't he, Fabio Quartararo, of defending that 9th place in contention, because behind Nakagami there's a big gap of almost 3.5 seconds. Well, it is over 3.5 seconds.
On to the back straight we go. This is where the Ducati really comes into its own. Sector 4, they have owned these left-handers. On the brakes, here we go. Watch this. Round the first corner. Round trying to get back involved. Nakagami's there to pick up the pieces. Should it go wrong? This is really close. Bastianini's not giving up.
Cracking scrap this for 9th place, and it's back in the hands of Fabio for 9th spot, briefly held by Bastianini. He's now back in 11th because Nakagami sweeps through.
Nakagami's got his eyes on Quartararo now.
Well, Nakagami's probably thinking, look in there, let me have a crack at Fabio. You've tried it.
On screen now have shown all weekend they're just happy in these 148s. They're comfortable, and they've put in a Bastianini there.
I think Taka Nakagami might be wearing a bit of Michelin rubber right now.
2 tenths. Look at that motorcycle wobble around for Bastianini. That's a proper Taka Lecuona, and Brad Binder hungry for 6th place. This is another great ride from
He knew that he was out of a ride in Tech 3 KTM next year. It's almost like the burden of pressure's been free of pressure. He's been 6th, 7th, and now on course for another top 6.
GP in the future for sure.
Absolutely, only 21, isn't he?
These two are doing Fabio Quartararo.
They battle and swap paint and rubber. It's just giving Fabio Quartararo, and he's
looking for this record to keep. He's undefeated in the last 4 visits to Aragon there.
So much faster as well than anybody else. They're still exchanging 48.7s, everybody else 150. So Bagnaia and Marquez have just been in a completely different race. This has been of when we're potentially going to see some big deviations in lap times with the grip deteriorating.
No. But there's still a little way to go in this one in Aragon.
How many times have we seen Dovizioso? It's the new breed, though, for Bologna that are taking the fight to Marc Marquez this time around. Front for the whole of this Aragon Grand Prix so far. Lap 15 then chalked off. Now it's all
still in the 48.6s, though, the pair of them. The last win for Ducati here in Aragon, the only win. The last 2 visits for Marc Marquez, he beat Dovi, and he's close here. He's getting closer.
Over 27 minutes of racing action, so he's armed with a wealth of knowledge.
Tonight with production and where I said I believed it would be 2 factory Ducatis there with the one I have to shout out to that has surprised the motorcycle world again is but for Aprilia to build a machine that can run with any motorcycle in the world now.
Yeah, here's a second down on Joan Mir at the moment, about halfway around this lap number 16.
And in a moment, after these 2 left-handers, there'll be 7 to go. It's the Repsol Honda man this weekend as well at turn 14.
Again, the pair of them stay in the 148s. 9 likewise from Marquez. The battle for the podium behind them, actually Mir and Aleix Espargaro, has now got that gap down to Joan Mir in 3rd place to under 0.4 of a second. Game on as Aprilia go
up again.
Miller's not been able to recover his fast rhythm after that mistake at turn 17, Aleix Espargaro, so it looks like it's going to be quite a lonely charge. The checkered flag in 5th for Jack Miller. He's
past Jorge Martin, then our 6th and 7th.
And on that last lap, Steve, Enea Bastianini, Quartararo, he's now leapt right onto the back wheel of the Frenchman yet again.
What's happened to Lecuona? He was 7th at the moment on circuit.
Well, was there a problem at the reverse corkscrew? There was.
Are they about to drop into the 149s for the first time, or do they remain in the 148s? There's been nothing really
sign that either of them are hitting any sort of rear tyre grip problems, are they, at the moment? Everything looks all
time, so no advantage being made there.
There's been a few times in thought he was looking for that into turn 4, where Marc Marquez has lost epic last lap to repeat itself here, particularly at his beloved Aragon.
Yeah, he doesn't know Pecco Bagnaia, world champion Marc Marquez. Marquez so hungry for victory, so hungry to do.
Yeah, this is just fascinating, intriguing to see how this will unfold over the next, right from the first corner of the race.
Dropping down the hill into turn 4, the moment where Bagnaia can just pull out a bit of an advantage. Further back, Quartararo, of course, courtesy of added point for him.
Well, Marquez did say pre-race he wasn't worried about fatigue or stamina, but he has not been able to pressure Pecco Bagnaia into one small mistake. Bagnaia been picture perfect for 18 laps and 2 corners so far this afternoon as well.
Near enough.
Slip right out of contention. He's now 3 seconds behind Aleix Espargaro. It's going to be a
very difficult to see here, isn't it, as to whether or not Marc Marquez is keeping something in reserve or whether he's being. We head down towards the reverse corkscrew again, turns 8, turns 9.
In between them again as they power through turn 10, those Michelin tyres on that left side, the phase of the race where tyre management is going to be pivotal.
Pecco Bagnaia has been so desperate again as they go around turn 15. It's just as you were, every single lap is like groundhog.
Zarco, a quick check on him, he's dropped down to 17th place now. So Cal Crutchlow no longer in that 70th of your race leaders.
Where does Marc make his move? He's very strong.
His home Grand Prix weekend, and then yesterday, crucially, in that FP4 session, he was top dog. Twitchy in the seat, isn't he?
Is it coming here?
Couple of times Marquez has looked like through turn up the inside of Bagnaia late on into turn 4.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all. You can just see in the bottom left of your screen there as Bastianini is 8th, Quartararo 9th.
He's had to be patient for it, but his patience rewarded. that rear tyre of Pecco Bagnaglia's factory Ducati.
Or is it coming into turn 12? This is...
Know how hard Bagnaia was having to force that front tyre. Just hoping he came out the other side. He's under 3 laps and a couple of corners remaining. Turn 15 here now on lap number 20, and it's still
closer here than he has been on previous laps. Now, if he's quick enough around 16 and 17 coming up here, there could be a move. He's getting closer. He's about to make his move. It looks like he's got more grip at the moment. Marc Marquez, they're side by.
I can just get that better drive grip coming over the hill with the power of the Ducati. Now the Marquez really trying.
We're on board with Marc Marquez. We flick it left. No. Is he waiting? Oh, here he comes. He's making battle engaged.
Yeah, he just tried to use the element of surprise there. Then he lunging up the inside of Bagnaia, then into
down through turn 8. Marc Marquez then has shown his first card, and Bagnaia knows he's there. He's trying
through this famous left-hander, which is named after Marc Marquez. He loves left-handers. Now then, it might be close enough. No, again, Bagnaia is so good. So much confidence and trust in that Ducati, isn't he?
Oh, and another element of surprise. The block pass this time into turn 15, but again on the cutback. Here comes Bagnaia.
Speed. Bagnaia just had to cut it back on the inside, but then start winding the power back up.
Mark's going to have it though.
His current lap tried at turn 5, tried at turn 15. Will it be third time lucky as he starts first corner?
Cannot do it. 2 laps remain in Aragon. Is he going to have another look here now? He'll line it up. He's got to have the speed here. He'll drift over to the other side, and here comes the move. No, he's not close.
Ooh. He hasn't. He's in wide again. Bagnaia sweeps straight back on through. That's attempt number 3 from Marc.
Slams the door shut on his fingers. This is an intriguing encounter. The Ducati,
son out of nowhere, dropped 2.5 seconds behind the Suzuki man. A lonely third for Joan Mir then. There's no way through for Marquez into turn 12. At the moment, Bagnaia's been so good down the hill.
Yeah. Is there another one coming into turn 15? He's getting close. He's going to have another look. He's trying to interrupt.
Marquez went for it. Lap 22, turns 5 and turns 15. Marquez went for it. 4 raids on Bagnaia.
They ran turn 16 and now they ran turn 17. It is the final lap of the race.
Punishing that front end on the Repsol Honda, and it's
that he says.
The 5th move, and he still has.
Bagnaia has answered every single question, and there's another one coming here from Marc Marquez. Into 5.
Can he this time around do it? No, he can't. Bagnaia comes back through again.
Ducati, Marquez on the Repsol Honda. It's all on the line. How many more stabs will Marc have?
Turn 12, and then try and keep Bagnaia behind him for the run down the back straight, or turn 15. Comes down the hill, he's through on Bagnaia.
He's wide, and that might be it. Lucky number 7. Bagnaia though doesn't know. He's really hot here. Down into the chicane, he's defensive.
Marc Marquez has thrown everything that Pecco Bagnaia, but he's 2 corners away from a famous
16, turn 17. The checkered flag is out. The wait is finally over. We've witnessed a Ducati celebrations in there. With Davide Tardozzi, Marquez finishes in 2nd. What a from him. And the World Championship leader Fabio Quartararo has to settle for 8th behind Brad
race. A memorable Motorland Aragon scrap. Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez jousted knee to knee for 23 unforgettable laps, and there were 7 attempted overtakes. Win and an epic battle against Marc Marquez, which will make it taste all the more sweeter.
Way to win your first ever MotoGP race against the 8-time world champion who had 7 shots at you.
Got to get sensation of winning a MotoGP race. He knows the sweet sensation of winning classic nail-biting last. What a ride that was.
Great respect there from Marc Marquez shown to Pecco Bagnaia. Well, he knows under incredible pressure for 23 solid